So, just for the moment, I'd like you to imagine that you're someplace else. So lie down quietly in your bed. Just imagine for a moment that you're sitting someplace quiet on the beach. The water foams and lifts itself, lapping against the sand. The air is dry and cool, and the sun is hot. There's currents coming in from the north. You can hear them. You can almost feel them. The salt of the sea coming closer and closer to make contact with your feet. A palm tree born from the shallows to the east is the only thing obscuring your vision. And it seems almost as if it's a perfect moment, even though it is born from a place of deep pain and deep need and worry. It's easy for you to see how careful you could be, how balanced you could feel, how safe you could be, just from being in this place, where the waves come one after the other, where your mind is free to wander without worry, without scare, and without a scarcity of self-love. In places like this, you find yourself in calm, in a kind of trance. The trance overwhelms you. It's almost like putting your foot into a very, very warm bathtub. The sudden shock of realizing how much warmer you could be. Your body begins to feel as if it's becoming unwound. It's almost like your mind is undressing. All of these layers of fear, layers of guilt, layers of self-hatred, they come clean away. They don't leave their marks for too long. And when they do leave a mark, it will heal. Eventually it will go away. And as we find ourselves sitting here, not trying to be anywhere, or do anything, but just being with ourselves, that is when we find that we actually feel content. This contentment comes from a place deep inside of us. It's not normal or usual to us, but when we find it, it's a place of raw healing energy. It's a place of safety. And oftentimes we overlook this safety or undervalue it because we prefer things to be the way that they've always been. We prefer things to be unchanging, unfaltering to their normal capacity. And that lack of change, we think it keeps us safe. But really, the lack of change is a lack of safety. It's something that each of us face. We face it when we look out into the ocean and see the waves moving. We face it in ourselves when we look inward and see what our demons are, the next battle that must be fought. And more so, we see it in the faces of those that love us. And now, more than ever, this beach is one of those faces. This place of intimate relaxation. is an affront to the parts of us that do not love who we are. It is up to us to be the one who holds the flaming sword against those horrible, denigrating acts we would perform on the person that matters most in this world. You. But it's not easy to knight oneself. One risks a slice to the neck, or a thrown elbow. A pulled muscle is a worry, and in this worry we stop trying. And it's a sad thing, but we know that if we stop trying, then we won't have to keep feeling this new pain, this growing pain. But what we should be doing instead, we should be accepting that this change will come, letting it come, and receiving it with open arms. That is the best thing we can do. We can be there, we can be present, and we can see it in all of its glory and splendor. And when we do, when we sit on that beach and feel the waves finally hit us from the warm sea, from the inspiring depths of the ocean, that is when we can finally feel that we have reached a conclusion, and we can finally move on from what's been hounding us for so long. And if only we knew how to get there. That is the point that I make. Getting to the beach. And when we do finally get there, it's a splendid thing. Feeling that sand coarse, but conforming beneath us. Seeing the feast for the eyes, the cornucopia to the senses. This place makes us yearn for a life that we never felt before. That yearning is a strong thing. It's powerful. It pulls us in like the tide. It makes us better. It makes us stronger and know what we want and look for. That wanting, it finds us. And when it does, we're usually not ready. But on this beach, we can be ready. And if we're lucky enough to have someone on that beach with us, we can tell them what it is that we yearn for. But it's a strong, dangerous, difficult thing to let somebody else be alone with us on our beach. Things like this that tie us together, things that separate us and bring us back. These bonds that bound us. We miss them. Sitting here, looking out into the ocean, we miss them. Because the ties that bind, they're the ones that matter the most.